within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time.
The Chase Shep Show with Shep and Chase.
What's up? Chase and Shep Show.
Chase and Shep Show, Friday night
Reviews.
Coming at you.
Yeah, today's an interesting set. We're talking about love, monsters, and fuck shit today. That is what we're reviewing today. So an interesting lineup for you.
Very interesting, very different. Two very different shows altogether.
Oh, absolutely. Can you tell we're filling space? I know most of you, are probably seeking out that WandaVision review, but we're going to give you a week. We're going to give you a week to watch it. And so we'll always be a week behind on those so that you have a week to catch up.
Yeah, you might get busy. You might, life might just go crazy, so we'll give you 7 days.
We'll give you
for now. That might change. We might figure out a way to make that change.
Yeah.
You never know.
But until then, you'll get our WandaVision reviews next week. But let's do the movie first. We should probably do the movie first.
Oh yeah,
that's what most people are going to want to be here for.
Love and Monsters. It's a new movie. It came out this past year, right? 2020.
Yep. Came out in 2020, and it just came out on DVD. It's available on DVD, Blu-ray, video on demand, all those goodies. So
monster apocalyptic world.
Yeah, that's right. We'll explain it this time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we kind of, Oh yeah, we didn't get I was like, we should bring up trailers. I didn't get that. We didn't get that geared up and ready to go.
Oh, that's right. We talked about doing that.
We'll try it maybe next week.
Well,
Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it.
It sounds like a season 3 upgrade.
That movie hops right into being in this post-apocalyptic world where monsters have taken over because of us shooting missiles into space to destroy an asteroid.
Yeah, which we can get more into that when it comes time for spoilers, just because I do want to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, this guy, he's he's in love with this chick. And
7 years goes past.
7 years goes past. It's been 7 years since this apocalypse has kind of happened. So they've been living in this post-apocalyptic world. And
kind of nerdy kid.
I'm not gonna lie. The trailer was a little misleading. I thought we were getting ourselves into a little bit of a different movie because I feel like they were pretty like straightforward with a lot of things out the gate. Like I thought this was gonna be like, 7 years later he finds out she's still alive. And then like traverses the land to get to his love and stuff like that. Stars Dylan O'Brien from Teen Wolf and Maze Runner. Wasn't he in the Maze? I don't know. I never saw Maze Runner.
Wouldn't know.
I liked him in this movie.
Yeah, the main guy, I liked him. A lot of fun side characters that pop up throughout this movie. I think. I think the trailer did make it seem like you're gonna get that view of along the opening shot of the world being normal. Boom, everything goes crazy. 7 years later, now he finds out, hey, this chick's alive, and he's like, oh shit. But it's like, nah, he's just been talking to her for a few weeks.
Yeah, it's like, they jumped straight into it where it's like, and then that scenes that you saw in the trailer is just like a little flashback at the very beginning of the movie that's like referenced a few times where it's like, okay, like this was the day the world ended. This is what happened on that day. And it goes back to it a few times throughout the movie. But otherwise, like, no, they're in contact and you find out it's been 7 years and he lives in this bunker with a group of people that, he's been living with for 7 years. He's kind of, how do you want to put it? He's got a freezing problem. That's how he puts it.
Yeah. He's good. He's a little scaredy cat. That's kind of the vibe they give off. He doesn't really do much to help besides what they say, cook
minestrone or something like that.
Minestrone and play on the radio.
Yeah,
like that. That's pretty much all he's good for.
The
whole movie is this kid's journey going out into the world.
Yeah, and then tackling this monster infested world.
After 7 years.
Yeah,
of never.
I had a good time with this. I texted you after I watched it and I said it was all right. And that's exactly still how I feel about it. Like it wasn't bad. but it wasn't great. It didn't like blow me away by any stretch of the imagination. But for the time I sat there and watched it, I was entertained. I had a good time with it. One of my complaints about it is a few of those characters that show up. Michael Rooker's character and the little girl. I wanted more of them. I wish they were around longer. And there at the end, I thought they were going to be like, oh, here's a little bit more, like that last shot when you
I
do
feel
see
like
them.
they just tease.
And
They
I was
just
like, what the
tease
fuck is
future
that?
things.
Like, it's like, that's not cool. That little girl, both of them are Guardians of the Galaxy because she played young Gamora in the Avengers
Nice.
movies.
Nice little callback.
I was like, oh, how about that? But I loved those characters, and I was just bummed that we only got to see them for like a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed them too. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I didn't, it wasn't lame. It wasn't lame. I thought it might be lame a couple times. I'm like,
Yeah.
this movie could turn out lame, but I was like, nah. Overall, I was like, okay, that was pretty fun. Pretty good movie. I'd like to dive into a little bit of it myself too. So I mean, there's a few things that I was like, all right, I just not following there.
I definitely feel like more of what I have to say about this movie is going to be kept in the spoiler section of this one.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because it is a new movie. It's brand new, brand spanking new. So for those of you that don't want it spoiled, you know what to do. Jump out when we tell you. So with that being said, let's drop these scores. So what you thinking?
I give this one a 7.5.
7.5.
Give it a 0.5 for potential. I think it has potential in a sequel to really come back and come hard. And I had fun with this movie. I don't think it's bad. If somebody else was like, "Yeah, we should watch this," I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It'd be a good one to just throw on with, you're just chilling with somebody. You got a down night at home. Like, it'd be a good one to just kick it and watch. Good Valentine's Day pick with Valentine's Day coming up. And I'd probably have to agree. 7.5 with that 0.5 for potential, because there was a lot of potential in this movie. There was a potential for a movie that was like a little more mind-blowing. I will say the creature effects were pretty dope. I really liked the monster designs and the like how the monsters looked and stuff, because it's like what the animal was supposed to be, but like it's got all these kind of cool like mutations and stuff. But I'd agree. 7.5.
Overall, fun movie.
Yeah,
Good job, guys.
It was a good time.
Let's get into these.
Let's get into it.
Now.
Spoiler time. Spoiler time.
Got a couple spoilers.
From the get, we'll start at the beginning of this movie.
From the get.
With the asteroids. Let's start there. I thought that was cool. I liked that was new, I thought that was a new approach to an old classic, where it's like an asteroid is getting ready to hit Earth, and instead of the asteroid being the end of the world, it was the rockets that went up, shot and just a shitload of rockets went up into the sky, blasted this asteroid to pieces, and it was all the chemicals and stuff from this rocket that rained back down onto Earth and affected all of these animals and mutated them and shit like that.
Yep.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool, unique approach to that.
Most definitely.
And I dug that quite a bit. Now, I will say that was the monster side. Now, let me talk about the love side of this movie. I called this movie from fucking square one. Like the beginning of this movie, I was like, well, I see where this is going. Like, you know what I mean? As soon as he was like chatting with her already, when they just dropped him into the story like that, and it had been 7 years, I'm like, well. And then they kept having characters who were like, are you sure this is a good idea? Like, it's 7 years. Like, are you sure this is a good idea?
Everybody.
And I'm just like, he's gonna get there, and this ain't gonna go as he plans. But I dug the message. I dug the message of this movie, which was just kind of like grab hold of your destiny. Take life by the.
I enjoyed most of all this movie. The only scene that I really was just like, all right, was the scene with him and the Mavis. Because I was like, all right, you're in a monster infected world at night, and this Mavis is just playing songs. You're out here fucking.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I'm like,
I was like, no monsters are coming up at all. Yeah. Okay. And then the floating jellyfish is like, all right, hold up.
Like it was cool visually.
It was a good, then that's all that fucking was, man. Because it's like, okay, there's no way, nowhere else in this movie is any of these other bugs acting different than they normally would, or creatures like the crab at the end, the sea creature. You know what I'm saying? So like, why are these fucking jellyfish floating in the goddamn air? Like, it makes no sense.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
But it was no, it was a good visual.
It was cool visually, yeah, and I do agree that scene overall, like I felt like if this was a movie with like more depth and detail, that scene would have felt more appropriate. But it felt a little weird. That one felt a little off. Because I agree. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, this bitch is playing music loud as hell. And it's like you were literally just being chased by a monster in an earlier scene that it's like they can find you, they can track you. Like, you're telling me that you're just chilling out here, like, no problem.
That was probably the one scene that bugged me the most out of any in this movie.
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd.
I liked this little journal thing that he kept. Not so much the dialogue of the letters. I thought that was kind of cheesy at some times.
Yeah, that was a little corny at times.
But I liked, how at the end how it becomes.
There's definitely the progression. Like, you can, you can. This is one of those movies where like it's very noticeable. Like, this isn't a badass who's badass the whole time. Like, this is a guy who's like clearly like takes a journey as a character, and you see him make that transformation throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, you see him, because he's like, he does it for that chick, and then it's like he finds himself in doing that, and then realizes, like, when he gets there and turns that map over and shit, he's like,
oh, man.
I miss my family.
That.
I did too. I really like that. That's how that movie chose to end, like with the guy being like, nope, you know what? I gotta go back.
Yeah,
I gotta get back to my people. And then they do, and then they all leave together, and that's what I was like, yo, this is it's pretty dope. And I think, like I said, it ends off with them heading towards the mountains, and Rooker's character, Rooker's character and the little girl, I feel like looking at them.
Right. Yeah.
Through binoculars, so it's like, well, where the fuck are y'all?
They're up in the mountains.
Well, yeah, it's interesting to know. Like, I'd like to see what that a sequel potentially could lead to in that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd check it. I'd definitely check it.
It would definitely have to be, a different angle. Obviously, not the love and monsters anymore. Just because he does get there. And I enjoyed.
It could be like more of a family love.
True. I enjoyed like the callbacks in this one, like the because sometimes that made things predictable, like the way they would just drop things throughout this whole movie. It was definitely like, well, if these aren't plot devices, I don't know what are. But like, it was clear that he was going to get there, and she was either going to be like with somebody or something, which it was actually kind of refreshing that she wasn't. Like, it was just for her own personal reason. Like, she had loved somebody in that 7-year gap, but I was glad he didn't just show up and she was like, oh, here's so and so. But there was one joke, that running joke throughout the whole movie, that I thought had such a great payoff, where every time he would run into somebody, and he told him, like, oh yeah, I've been on the surface, I'm from this bunker. Oh, what did you steal?
I love my colony.
And they're like, what did you steal food? And every fucking person says this to him. Did you steal food? He's like, what? No, I didn't. Why does everybody keep saying that? And then at the end, that fucking asshole who he's a food stealer. I was like, that is priceless.
You're right,
that was worth the wait. That was worth the I thought that was a great payoff.
No, I thought that was the whole scene was nice for the callbacks, because that was a callback, and then when you thought the crab's about to eat them, then
as soon as the crab, the very first time I saw the dude electrocute the crab, I'm like, crab's not a bad monster. Crab's not a bad monster. And I was waiting for it, and sure enough, like when he was holding the gun or whatever the hell, like at the crab, like I said it right before he did, I was like, you can tell in the eyes, and and sure enough, that's exactly what happened, and he freed it, and it helped him out. And I was like, because I was thinking about that. Like when she first said it, I'm like, I'd almost guarantee this comes back at some point. I would say, there were actually scenes in this movie that were kind of intense. I feel like some of these scenes with the monsters,
with the dog.
Because of the dog. I was gonna say, if you take the dog out of this movie, this is a very different movie. That dog and Dylan O'Brien really made this movie. Like,
well, I just thought of the dogs I got here, and I was like, yo, I'd be dead because my dogs would be crying or doing something stupid, like, because they would, man, they wouldn't.
especially that one scene with the like giant cockroach thing.
Yeah, Sand Devil or something. I think is
Yeah,
what they
something
call
like that. Man, that was intense. But I loved like as soon as he met the dog, like everything from that point forward is when I really started to get more into the movie.
Oh yeah,
When he
yeah,
met the dog and the first like you get to see, well, it wasn't the first monster, but the first monster when he was out on the surface, the big frog
yeah,
that was in the pool. But I just loved the way he was like talking with the dog. And you know, obviously the dog doesn't talk back, but it was a dog with so much personality that, you know.
yeah,
But again, similar to the Mavis thing, it's like there's obviously so many more detail. Like this was a movie that just left me wanting more. Like
yeah.
across the
Oh yeah,
board. Like I just wish
yeah.
there was more to this movie. Like the
What's
whole thing with the dog and the dress, and it's like I know what this is implying. I know what it's trying to say is like, you know, the dog had an owner, and the owner is probably dead, and they had this connection and all this stuff is very attached to the owner's dress. I'm like, I get that, but I wish I had like there had been
that
more.
would have been a nice payout at the end if a chick would have showed up with him wearing the red dress. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, damn, he found his owner. Like, she just got separated from him.
yeah, yeah,
Something
you know
like
that,
that.
and that would have been, you know, an emotional little thing itself, where it's just like,
I'd have
damn,
had more emotion over
now he's got
the
to say
dog.
goodbye to the dog because the dog's found his
Maybe
person.
not. Hey,
But
he's
yeah,
single. He's a single man, so maybe not.
yeah, true, 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 true.
But no, it's a good movie.
True. He's like, oh, this is the lady in the red dress, eh?
Ooh,
But yeah, that whole
hey,
scene with the cockroach and everything was
okay.
just good. Again, because like this dog, like, you know, really did a lot of human stuff in that scene. You know, when it sees the dress and like runs off and puts him in danger, which was also one of the cooler action pieces too, when he throws the grenade.
Oh
And
yeah.
I thought he just like he had Dylan O'Brien just has a very charming personality, I feel like, and he had that going for him in this movie. His just kind
I,
of like dorky charisma he had going.
I
And
just
so when
like it.
he just
Yeah.
pops up and
Then,
he's like,
well, yeah. And the next time he sees the dog, he's like, "Sorry, I yelled at you."
hmm
It's like I feel that.
yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
was a good time.
So
Uh,
the next thing that we got into was the history of swear words.
History of swear words. You wouldn't think we'd
Oh yeah.
review this one, but hey, you know, call it a slow
Well,
week.
I
It
love
looked
my swear
interesting.
words.
We do love
I,
our swear words, so we're reviewing. We just decided to do the first two episodes, and if we feel it necessary, we'll review two more next week with the two WandaVision episodes, and you know, we'll just keep
bada
this up.
boom.
But
Bada
the
boom.
first two episodes were fucking shit.
Fucking
Uh,
shit, man.
Sorry, mom. I actually texted my mother and I was like, you need to watch this show. You'll love it. It's
I mean, I'm a big fan of swear words.
yeah,
Again, before we get into this, like I've told my kid, the whole point of there was a whole saying, you curse like a sailor. I'm a
that's right.
Navy veteran, so I can fucking curse like a sailor anytime I want, man. I earn my rights. So,
Right, you're qualified.
anyway, though, like this was interesting. I always wanted to know where, a word like fuck came from.
Yeah,
Because I don't know, like they keep being, that whole episode, they're like, fuck is such an impactful word and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. For me, it's not. If someone told me go
right.
fuck yourself, I'd be like, yeah, fuck you, buddy. Like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
Well,
know. It's
they mentioned at one point in the episode the like in England how it's just like no big deal, but in
yeah.
America, if you tell somebody to like, you know, it's like, oh fuck you, and they're like, what? Like, you know, they get all upset.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of people that you could be like, fuck you, douchebag, and they're like, yo,
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa, whoa. Hey, what? There have been plenty of times where I've just been talking and I'm just saying something and curse words are coming out as a part of that. And somebody's just like, whoa, man. And I'm just like, what? Like, you know, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm not angry or nothing. I'm just saying. And
Right.
they're just like, whoa, dude, whoa. What's the issue here? I'm like, the issue is that you can't handle this apparently. Your little virgin ears have never heard these words, I guess.
I laughed on that episode at like how fuck came from like people's last names and they don't know like why.
Le fucker.
Yeah. I was like,
John Le fucker.
I was like, that is a golden name. I wish I was born into that family lineage. Like,
I'm trying
yeah,
to
they
remember
fuck.
what what the because there was like 3 different names they gave, and there was that
It was
last
like fuck mall or something weird.
something like that. And Nick Offerman's like, okay, now you're just making these up. Like,
Yeah,
there's no way that's a real name.
like fuck
Uh,
mills or something
it
like
was
that.
it was something that was just like crazy.
I know it was fuck, and then it started with an M, but I don't know what it was.
Uh,
Fuck mound or something. I don't know.
I loved Nicolas Cage as the host for
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He definitely
Yeah.
brings a little something to it, because I enjoy that not only does he do like the hosting thing, but like when it does the like the animated things, the little animated history lessons, that Nicolas Cage is just doing the voices for all of them, and that definitely adds to the fun of the show.
What did you think about Jonah Hill being the actor that said "fuck" the most?
I was not entirely surprised by that,
Yeah.
because I think I knew that already because of Wolf of Wall Street. I knew that he had broken a record in Wolf of Wall Street for the most time saying "fuck" on screen. But I was surprised to know that he was the actor who had said it the most on screen, just in general. I definitely
Yeah.
thought, oh, Samuel
Samuel L.
L.
Jackson. Yeah.
Was gonna take the cake on that one.
I thought so too, just
I was
because
very surprised. But I guess I don't know. I guess when you think about it, he only drops a few real good motherfuckers. That's why they're so like impactful when you get them.
Well, and some of
Yeah.
them, he goes in, bro.
Well, definitely some of them he goes in, because there's
Hard.
that whole thing in the Hitman's Bodyguard, where Ryan Reynolds makes some joke about like this guy single-handedly ruined the phrase motherfucker or something like that. But yeah, I was a little surprised. He was the number one, but not entirely shocked. I enjoyed the Nicolas Cage breakdown, where he's like, as you see here from the statistics from some random actor, and
Oh yeah, and it's all
it's
him.
Nicolas Cage, and all of like the times he said like curse words on screen and stuff like that.
Puck's in the lead at 71%.
I've actually always like I appreciate this show only because I've always wanted to do something like this, because curse words fascinate me. Just language in general, at the fact that like these are words that were invented. Like we made these up and then decided they were bad. And this show doubles down on that. They're like, yeah, these are made up words. And as time went on, people decided that they were bad words and they shouldn't be said.
Right, like that. How it started as the last name, and then it progressed to being like I'm gonna go fuck, and
Well, and then
fuck you,
to jump into that second episode,
and then shit.
they were talking about how shit did become a bad word, like how that kind of transitioned, because shit goes back to the medieval days, is what they were
Yeah,
saying. Like,
when we started wanting private bathrooms, isn't
it
that
was
what
when
they were?
we had like indoor pump plumbing, and people started doing their business in private and stuff, and then it became more of a taboo thing to talk about, and then eventually the word itself became a bad word. But I have to agree with most of the people on that show, in that episode, that can we all agree that shit's not a bad word? Can we
Yeah,
just like, can we
shit
let
is.
shit back in?
It ain't shit.
It
It
ain't
ain't shit,
shit. It ain't shit. It ain't shit. It's and they were talking about all the variations of shit, how it could be a good thing, a bad thing. What was it? This around the 70s is when they brought it back around by starting to say things were the shit. Like you could be the shit.
the shit. Yeah.
It's like, but if you're shitty, then
No,
you're
they
the shit.
well, they ended that one off with saying like, if you ain't bothered by the word crap in a few years, that's how shit's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, because
Like,
I guess the way I gauge how bad a curse word is if I hear my great grandmother say it can't possibly be that bad. I've heard my great grandmother use shit all the time. Like it's just a word that comes out of. I've heard that word come out of all sorts of people's mouth. Even
yeah.
people who are kind of prudes about things, and it's like, but shit never seems to be a problem,
I saw Jurassic Park as a kid in theaters.
right?
Big pile
Uh,
of shit. Didn't
I
even bother
I
me.
dug that they got into like the rating system for
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that, and I always knew that about rated R movies and PG-13. PG-13. I always thought PG-13 you could only get one. I didn't realize
I
you could
thought.
get
Yeah.
two. So that's interesting.
I guess it
Uh,
depends on how you use it.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I always thought that if you used it more than once, then you'd get the R rating slapped on you.
Yeah. I really enjoyed how they brought up the parental advisory stickers on CDs and
Mhm.
how that was made how like it made our generation more inclined to buy that CD.
Yeah.
It was like that was easy money right there.
I
like,
just thought about that today when I went to Walmart, because you know, it used to be that you couldn't get explicit albums at Walmart. Like it was, they only sold clean edits of albums. But now they have like a vinyl section at Walmart, and you know, I saw like they had 2014 Forest Hills Drive, the J. Cole album, and I picked up, and boom, big old parental advisory sticker. Yeah, like that's true. Like would, like, if I saw it was a clean edit, I would not buy it. I would wait till I found that parental advisory sticker, because that was, I don't want to hear these replacements. There have been some songs, like Beastie Boys songs, that I've heard the clean edits for so long that when I did hear the original versions, they sounded weird to me. I was like,
well, the shit I listened to growing up, man, you couldn't get clean versions.
Mm-hmm.
All you could get was parental advisory stickers, because that's how their shit was. It wasn't being played on the radio.
Right.
You know, so like that's just how it was. So finding a clean version of that would be horrible. And that was the Insane Clown Posse, for those wondering. I was way into growing up. You know, yeah, easily. I was like that's a great point, because that's exactly how that went, and that's why I always thought that was just kind of dumb to put on there. I think it backfired for exactly why they put it on there.
I definitely think for a show called The History of Swear Words, I feel like it's about a lot more than just the history of swear words. Like it's just a conversation about swear words for the most part. It's just, you know, discussing these words, and whether it be their history, their cultural impact, their you know, psychological impact, stuff like that. The whole test, you know, I was familiar with that test, the ice bucket test, where, you know, the more you curse, the longer you can your pain tolerance will go up.
Withstand pain.
Like the example the one chick gave about giving birth. It's like somebody giving birth isn't going to go, oh my God, I'm having this baby right now, and this and that, just go on. And it's like, no, we're going to give you one concise, like, fuck, like, or shit, you know, we're just going to, and it's like, yeah, I hear you. Sometimes it's just the word, man.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. So I don't know if it's really fair to just drop scores for these episodes, but you know, for the show so far,
it's a fun watch so far.
It's a fun watch.
Wouldn't matter.
I definitely am digging it. Like I said, I mean, I was a little biased because this was something, you know, I've thought about doing before. Like I've thought about, we've discussed like man on the street bits before. And that's always been a topic that I always wanted to broach with people on the streets, and being like, tell me your thoughts on curse words, you know, like, how do you feel? What's your favorite one? Like, because it's such an interesting topic.
Maybe we'll have to do that at some point, because I can already tell based off those 2 episodes that they're not going to get into my favorite swear word.
Now I'm curious what your favorite swear word is.
I don't know if I should say it on air, because people get very offended by it.
Is it like the one that a lot of people don't like?
It's not. It's the C word.
It is the C word. Yeah,
that's the one I'm getting.
That's what I thought.
I just thought, after talking for a second, looking at myself, I was like, should probably clarify. It's the C word, ladies and gentlemen. I won't say it because of the moms watching and shit like that.
Really? Your favorite curse word?
Favorite, bro.
No shit.
Because anytime you call somebody that, the look on their face is priceless. I think like that's when they were saying fuck is the most impactful cuss word and stuff.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh no. I was like, I know somebody who will use fucking, you know, for every other word, but is just mortified by the C word. But at the same time, you know, there was a time where I subscribed to that as well, where I was like, you know, oh, this word is just terrible, you don't say that, because of other people around. But then, you know, as somebody who, like, I expose myself to a lot of different media, like from overseas and like internationally and stuff like that, and everybody just has such a different opinion. And I will say, and I started hanging around women, and they also tend to love that word, even though they're like never, you know, and you know, it's circumstantial. Like in certain circumstances, if you use it, it's like, whoa, what the fuck is your problem? You know what I mean? But otherwise,
that's another one of those words that over in Britain is like nothing. It's like calling someone a bitch.
Is my favorite, which is, I agree. That's my favorite way to use it, when I'm just like referring to people in a sense that it's like, they're so fucking stupid. You know, they're just, you know, a dumb see you next Tuesday, which, you know, clearly we believe it's the most impactful curse word because neither of us are willing to say it here on the show.
Exactly. See, there you go. Because I think, because it's one of those, like, to me, it's one of those words you preserve. You put that up your sleeve and you only let it out when you really, when you really want to cut someone down.
Yeah.
Like, boom. Yes. And see you next to, see, they should have done that. They should have done that.
Yeah.
That should have been the first.
Let's where's that season 2 at?
Let's hope. Well, I didn't look ahead to see what words they do.
They don't do that one. They don't do that one. I looked ahead a little bit. I know.
Well, I saw bitch and damn.
I think bitch, damn, dick, and pussy are all on their way. 4, 5, 6, and then I think there are 2 more. I don't know, or maybe it's just the 6 episodes. So you'd have to double check on that.
We'll see.
But yeah, so history of swear words. If you like swear words like we like swear words, and you want to know more about them, fucking check it out. Fucking check that shit out, dude.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, hosted by Nicolas Cage.
It's good shit.
It's good shit. It's good shit.
All right, man. Well, that'll wrap her up for Friday night reviews, huh?
Friday night reviews. That'll do it, and we'll hit you with those WandaVision reviews next Friday. Let you know what we thought.
Yeah, man.
Until then, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to go watch that shit right now, actually. So
that's right.
Peace.
That's right.
Smooches.
Super Saturday.
See you tomorrow.